So I sat down to eat dinner with my family and we said, all right, what can we watch on TV while we eat dinner? And so we went to Apple TV and I was like, I forgot this movie even came out. Let's watch that. And so my mom, who's born from Boston, my grandma, who is from Boston, we sat and watched a Boston movie. Why I'm wearing a Boston shirt. The Instigator stars Matt Damon and Casey Affleck and follows two robbers who must go on the run with the help of one of their therapists after a theft doesn't go as planned. From director Doug Liman, the man that brought you The Bourne Identity, Edge of Tomorrow, and this year's Roadhouse comes the brand new movie, The Instigators. This premieres on Apple TV, and like I said in the beginning, I kind of forgot it was even coming out, and so eating dinner with my family watching this movie with a lot of Bostonins watching this movie, it was definitely a fun time because my grandma was pointing things out and such. She was like, oh, that's definitely Boston. I've been there. I've been on that bridge. There's a scene where there's a car chase in a tunnel with like white walls. I've been in that tunnel. Also, at the very end, there's like a big third act set in this building. Well, the building next to it has like a bell, whatever. I've been to that building as well. So, like I said, there's a little biasy because Boston household, even though I'm not from there. I have a lot of family from there, and I pull for the Patriots and the Celtics, kinda. And so with this movie, I was just kind of enjoying it for watching it with my family, and it's honestly fine. It's not a movie that's breaking any boundaries. It's doing nothing like outrageous, like you gotta see it. But I will say, if you like Matt Damon or Casey Affleck, I would say give it a watch. It's a fun little action comedy, so beginning with my positives is Doug Liman's direction. I'm a sucker for like action scenes that involve comedy, like physical comedy. If you can blend them together, I'm a sucker for them because most of the time I do find stuff funny. Like people's reactions saying, turn the truck, and they like get pinned or whatever. He's like, put it in gear, put it in different gear. Like, I don't know, just physical action comedy I'm a sucker for. And this movie has a lot of that. Like there's one scene with a fire truck that I found pretty funny. Like I said, there's a scene where they're in a car chase and the therapist is trying to talk to Matt Damon, basically give him a therapy lesson in the middle of a car chase. I found it funny, okay? Call me stupid, but like I just found it funny. There was a few times this movie I chuckled, honestly. And this movie's got a cast. Of course, you have Matt Damon, who plays basically a wimp in this movie, and like when they do the first theft in the beginning of this movie, he's pretty funny because he keeps asking questions and he's not a hard ass, so he just walks in there and he has a gun. He's like, I have a gun. So it's just like little stuff like that makes his acting really good, and Matt Damon's a great actor. Casey Affleck, whatever you want to say of him as about a person, that's fine, but as an actor, he was funny in this movie. I think he plays a good second-hand man. He also co-wrote this movie, which I found interesting. And then you have like Ron Perlman, you got Chau, Jack Harlow's in there. I mean, there's a lot of people. Hell, even Gronk is in this movie for literally 7 seconds. But he's in it. And so watching this movie, again, it's just fine. Honestly, it's just a fine little action comedy. And there's some funny parts. There's some action scenes. Some of the CGI is really bad. There's a scene where like a vault falls off a window and there's money falling out of it. I was like, that is from a video game. That is from a video game. And another thing is, Doug Liman did this in the Roadhouse movie, and it's another issue for me. He like blends live action shots with CGI shots through like car windows, and like the editing doesn't cut. It's like a one take shot of like a car hitting the car with Matt Damon in it. And he did the same thing in Roadhouse when the truck tries to run over Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like blending CGI in one singular shot. I don't know about that kind of stuff. I'm not a fan of it. The two movies I've seen him do it in now, I'm not really a fan. I'm going to be honest. I'm just like, it takes me out of the scene for me personally. Now my grandma and mom and dad, they didn't even recognize it. They just watch an action scene. But I was sitting there like, yep, now it's a CGI shot. Now this shot's in a studio and they're in a green screen and they're pushing the car, making it look like that's happening. And then the entire scene's through a computer. I don't know. Again, it's probably really hard to do a car crash. But in my mind, I'm like, we didn't need CGI, but you can't have Matt Damon in a car having a car crash. You just can't do that. So again, stuff like that kind of bothered me, but again, this movie is very simple. Honestly, it has its funny moments. It has its fun action. Again, it feels like a movie I'm probably not going to remember like next week. But for tonight's dinner, eating and watching a brand new movie, it was fine. And again, it's got Boston onions all over this movie, so kind of a sucker for that in this household. And in the end, it's a fine little movie. I'm going to give The Instigators a C+. It's currently streaming on Apple TV. Give it a watch if you want to, especially if you're a fan of Matt Damon, because we all love Matt Damon. Matt Damon. When is he going to do another movie with Ben Affleck? He just did one with Casey Affleck. Now I want one with him and Ben Affleck. That would be really cool, actually. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this movie review, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.